Welcome to Fearless Conversations, a podcast by free thinkers of the world.
The content within this episode is intended for mature audiences only.
Hi, welcome to Fearless Conversations. I'm Euge and I'm here with my co-host
Mariano.
And our guest today, who is Matias Montaldo. Welcome, Matias.
Welcome. Thank you. Thank you for the invitation to participate in the program. I'm pretty excited to talk about it.
Yeah, thank you so much, Matias. We're very excited to have you, and thank you for your time and to share what you're passionate about.
Yes, we are very excited to have you, and I'll tell you a little bit about Mati. Matias was born and raised in Buenos Aires. He has a bachelor in political science and international relations from the Catholic University of Argentina. He is currently the President of Geo Funds, an NGO whose mission is the development of sustainable habits in local communities. At present, he has been awarded a scholarship for the Master in Environmental Management at Yale University. Congratulations for that achievement, Matias.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Yes.
It must have been a great ride. Like very, I imagine, a difficult process to achieve something like that. Would you like to tell us how was your path in achieving this?
Well, it was kind of a roller coaster, you know, when you have like this steep going up, then the thrill, you know, and the excitement of getting there and then going down, then going up again. So it was a lot of hard work. I always wanted to have this kind of experience of studying abroad. Originally, I was thinking of going to Europe, but you know, sometimes all the processes are hard, so there is a lot of competition. So I decided to expand a little bit my horizons, and since the preparation for scholarships and for applications at universities pretty much the similar in every place. I mean, you have like slight difference. Some universities or some scholarships may focus on some aspect, so you have to change a little bit the approach of your application, but they are more or less the same. That the information that you have to provide and the essays that you have to write are more or less the same. So I decided to apply as well for the Fulbright program. The Fulbright program is a scholarship program sponsored by the US Congress, but it's managed locally in all different countries. They have presence in everywhere. It's like especially in the global south, but you have scholars from Australia or the UK or other countries. So I decided to apply for this program. Well, as I said, it's like a lot of hard work. You have to prepare, submit like a lot of documents. You have to translate your certificate, your transcript. You have to sell yourself. There's a lot of selling.
So tell us a little bit about that part. It's an essay. How long is it an essay format that you have to say why you want to study in Yale, what, that type of thing?
Well, normally you have like two kind of essays. One is the personal statement. This is pretty common in all the applications. Personal statement is the essay where you kind of explain in detail who you are, what is your professional experience, if you did some volunteering, if you have some like certain skills that you want to highlight, or I don't know. It's kind of the space that you have to sell yourself and to talk more about yourself. Then you have another one that is the statement of purpose, which is like more into the future. So why are you applying for this program? What are your plans for your studies here in the US? What are your plans for the future? So it's kind of, they want like all into different essays, but actually it's all part of a whole application. Sometimes you may have like a separate, like small essays or small question that you have to submit. Now there were a lot of applications that I completed, so I can't remember exactly which were the essays that I had to write for this particular program, but they were more related to those topics. So they kind of, the idea of the program is that they are looking for leaders in the countries. So they, I mean, I'm not saying it's not important, but they don't care much about your academic results from your bachelor's degree, and they don't care as well like about your economic situation. So the scholarship is more related to whether you are a potential or an actual or a potential leader in your country.
Yeah, so I was going to ask you if you had somebody ask, you know, if you could recommend or suggest how to identify yourself, how to express yourself. If you know, did they tell you why they chose you?
No,
Why do you think
they don't give details, like concrete details to everyone. They normally send you like a general letter, like an admission letter, saying a little bit of this, like, okay, we have reviewed your application, we like your profile, we consider and we think that you're valuable for this institution. So it's kind of a general response. That when the first day we were here, when the dean addressed like all the incoming students, she said that okay, this was like a really competitive year, especially after COVID, and that they have selected us like because of, you know, they always use these fancy words like our exceptional experience or profiles or
okay.
So it's kind of a general thing. I mean, we don't have like a specific detailed feedback on our application.
I see. Just the whole process for you, that you were able, did you change your response? Did you know, how do you go deeper into how you want to be perceived? You know, how you want them to see you? Because one thing is to, oh, I did this, and this, and this, which already is actual things that you did. And then it's what you want to do. What's your vision? What's your purpose? I mean, it's something that requires like you to be, not you, but in general, to be very honest, you know, with yourself and be true to your values and things like that. So I don't know what you think about that. How was that process?
Yeah, well, first of all, yes, you have to be true with yourself. I mean, it's kind of a marketing process as well. I mean, you have to highlight all the good parts that you have, all the challenges that you had. But I mean, being truthful, but at the same time, you know, you have to sell yourself. So it's kind of an interesting process. The other thing that I would like to mention, and it's part of the work that you may have to do in order to apply, is that you have to understand what they are looking for, which may be different from one country to another one, and it may be different, like, because I had to apply, there were like two different processes. One was to apply for the scholarship, and the other one, I had to apply for the university. So they were not, I mean, of course they were connected, but they were like two different processes. So maybe the scholarship will look for something in particular. So you have to kind of design your application in relation to that kind of purpose that the scholarship program has. And you had to do the same with the university. So sometimes, and sometimes it's also useful like to contact someone who has experience or who works in this kind of processes. I did both. I talked to people who was awarded with a scholarship, so I knew more or less what was the profile that they were looking for. But then I also like had the luck that I have a friend who worked in Brazil where the Brazilians wanted to study abroad. So he was working with them, like preparing them for the applications. So he was living in Argentina at that moment. So I was able to, you know, to hire him. So he literally like turned my whole application like 180%. So degrees. So it was like changing the whole aspect, maybe because maybe okay, you have to be more appealing, like you have to be these people read like a lot of applications every year. So you have to outstand. I mean, there has to be something stand out. Yeah. There has to be something that they will remember after reading like 1,000 applications. So
and what was it that you changed, or what do you feel was the deal breaker for you?
Well, theater was one. One of in one of my essays, I kind of linked my theater experience with my environmentalism and kind of my professional experience as well, in like you know, like a creative way. Actually I started with a small part of a monologue that I used for a class. I don't know if that was you know, the thing that made the difference, but maybe it was. I mean, it was one of the suggestions that this friend of mine gave me when working with the application. So I mean, creativity. You have to be creative.
How important. And another question that I have is, you were applying on Fulbright, the scholarship, and on the university at the same time. Which one came in first?
Well, in my case, it depends again in the application process or in the country that you are trying to apply. For instance, I apply for the scholarship in the UK, and in that case, you have to do both things at the same time. You have to apply for the scholarship and for the universities. In this case, was different. I applied for the scholarship first, because you have to do that in advance, 1 year in advance. So I got the confirmation for the scholarship in July last year. Yeah, last year. For this year. So as soon as I got my confirmation, I had to start working on the applications for the universities. Yeah. So
and you had more than one option in your radar.
Well, I applied for 8 universities, for 8 programs here in the US. Because the scholarship requires you to apply for 4, but then I decided to apply to other 4 just in case, because I like the program more, or whatever reason. So yeah, and it was really hard. It was a lot of work.
Yeah, how did you feel when you were approved the first time with Fulbright? You know that. What did you do? Did you celebrate?
I mean, it it was funny because I was about to have breakfast, and so the first time there was a pre-selection, then you go through an interview. So I got those stages completed. So I was just waiting for the final decision. And normally, sometimes they tell you that you were rejected, sometimes they don't. So it depends on the program. And I was about to have breakfast, and I was looking at my phone, and I got an email, and I was like, oh, here we go again. Like, prepare, prepare for the worst as usual, because I was rejected like several times with, especially with the UK scholarship. So it was, oh, okay, let's go through this. And when I opened the email, it was like the acceptance. So yeah, it was weird. I mean, I couldn't react. I mean, it was like,
can't believe it.
Happening. Yeah.
Now what?
Oh
my! Were you alone in the room? Were you with someone?
I was alone.
Were you shouting?
Yeah, I can't remember if I was shouting or not. Maybe I just I jump a little bit, and then of course I was like testing my family, some of my closest friends as well. I mean, the friends that were especially like involved in the process. So yeah, it was amazing. It wasn't
because we have a theme of the people that the guests that we've had is there's a lot of challenges. If people sometimes they see someone as successful and they go, oh, he's so lucky, but no, you gotta go through a lot of rejections, and you gotta put the work, and you also were smart enough to hire somebody to, that maybe went through the process. So it's also being humble that you need help, so asking for help and going through that. And even though you had rejections, you kept going and going. So that's part of the thing. So people that make it they have to go through that process. Yeah. And then the other thing I was thinking, when you have something that's unbelievable like that is life-changing. This is life-changing, moments that you can share with friends and family that are happy for you, that really just that's also part of life, and it's a beautiful thing. So perseverance is like is key in these kind of things, because actually for other scholarships I applied for years, and it was like every year I had to submit, trying to change a little bit the application, so maybe you can have some better chances there. And for instance, this was it was the third time that I applied for the US scholarship. The first one was myself, and the second one was with the help of my friend. So actually, even with his help, I mean, I didn't get selected the first year. I got it like the following year. So even if you think that you've done everything okay, and everything that is up to your capacity and your power, you still have to try, because sometimes it's a question of the odds. It's like since they're not looking into something like in particular, it's kind of an open it's like kind of an open selection. I mean, sometimes it depends on the people that apply at the same time that you are applying. So maybe there are like a profile that is more appealing for them. So I mean, it's not that your profile is not good or your application is not good. It's because they like most another one, or sometimes it's a question maybe of being of equity, of trying, maybe they need more women, maybe they need other countries to be more represented, or other regions. It's kind of diverse. Really? So in your group, when you arrived, you were among other Fulbright award winners? You were among this group, or it's just the first day of university, were you with other foreign students or with everybody?
Well, there are two different things. The Fulbright program. Awards scholarship. We were like around like 15 people from Argentina, but since we are all studying in like different places in the U.S. because everyone is following chose like different universities, different programs. So we are all around the U.S. But then you find like other Fulbright scholars from other countries here. In my year, we are only three, one girl from Colombia and another guy from Malaysia. And then, but then you have like a lot of the first day, as soon as we arrived, the first day, there was a welcoming event session only for international students.
From Yale or from Fulbright?
For Yale,
Oh.
sorry. Yeah. Sorry. If it gets confusing sometimes because of like the different process, just let me know because
Don't worry.
yeah, I mean, we got the Fulbright scholarship. Every scholar went to different parts of the US, and I chose to be here at Yale. But then here at Yale, the first day we had this event for international students, and the interesting thing is that for this first year, so the incoming students, we are a third of all the incoming students. A third of all the incoming students are international students.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And a fifth from them are from Latin America.
A
Excellent.
fifth from all students?
All the international students.
Wow.
We are 50 international students in the first year, and 10 are from Latin America.
Yeah.
Wow. And how long is the process? How many years is the master?
It's a 2-year program, so it's 2 years.
And you started this year?
Yeah, this fall. I arrived in August. Yeah.
Oh,
So it's
yeah.
I finished my 3rd month.
Well, congratulations.
How is it what you expected? How is that going the first 3 months?
Yeah, it's intense. It's intense. It's pretty intense. I thought it was going to be easier to settle down. I found it a little bit challenging. There were like so many things to do, like to, you know, get your apartment, get your things in your apartment, getting to know the system, the university system here is really different from ours in Argentina. So it's you get to choose the subjects, but the courses, but everyone also like it's really helpful. So you know, it's trying to understand all the opportunities that you have.
There's a lot more choices. You have a lot more choices.
Yeah.
Which makes it more difficult. The more choices you have, you go, oh my God, I like this, I like this, I like this.
It's like that. I mean, on one hand, it's like a really good thing because you have to choose whatever you like. I mean, you are creating your own path within the program. But at the same time, you know, it's overwhelming because you have like a lot of options and you want to do everything.
The right one.
Oh,
yeah,
this looks interesting. This looks interesting. I want to do this. I want to do that. So it's hard.
Yeah.
So the first semesters you have some required courses that you have to do. So we didn't have to choose that much, but we are already like, you know, trying to talk to people, especially from 2nd year, in order to get to know more the courses and the faculty and which courses will be best for you to take. So yeah, it's interesting. It's a good thing to have the opportunity to choose, but at the same time, it's really overwhelming because you're always thinking that you may lose some big opportunity, and especially for us that we are from international students, it's like I won't have this again. So it's like you feel that pressure, like that inner pressure of trying to
make the most out of
yeah,
it.
to make the most of it. Yeah. So but I mean it's just, but and it's just it's a stressful in a good way. I'm really happy about the intensity we have to deal with.
Yeah. Are you finding challenging? Are you homesick? Are you a little bit homesick or making friends?
Well, not that much. I mean, of course you miss things from your country. I think maybe it's too soon to tell, because I mean,
But that's a good start. Sometimes,
yeah,
even at the beginning, people are, oh. So
I
are you
only
really-
have like one day maybe at the beginning because as soon as I arrived, I started with activities here. We have these welcoming events, and then we have like 3 weeks of orientation. So in between the first 2 weeks of orientation, that you're still trying to get to know people. I had like 1 or 2 days that I was feeling kind of lonely, but I think it's pretty normal. But then you get to know people, you get to make friends. Of course, maybe first you get to bond more with maybe with the Latin American people, because we share language, culture, and challenges and everything. So it's sometimes you start being friends with them, but then of course everyone is being so open, and everyone being so willing to make connections and to talk to people. You start making friends like from other international students and also with the American students. So it's challenging because of course there are new friendships, so they don't know all about you. So it's not like your old good friends that you may have at home. I mean, if you have like a really deep problem, maybe at first you don't feel like the urge to talk to them, because I mean they don't know you, they don't know how you may feel, or so. But we are getting there. We're getting there. I think we are building some good and strong friendships. So it's part of the night thing. I mean, to get to know new people, and yeah, I'm really enjoying this.
So why did you choose the master in environmental management? We know that you are the president of Geo Funds, the NGO. So you have a environmental experience in your career. So how do they relate? Was this the program you were targeting? What was your idea?
Well, I was interested in the environment since I was like very little. At least in high school, I was like for sure already concerned about these issues. I decided to study political science because I thought that it was from that. It was always like a matter of policy and politics. That which I still believe that is that is the case for like every problem that we face as a society. It all goes down to policy. So I decided, okay, I want to study then political science. And after I finished my degree, I started like taking courses, like postgraduate courses, and I thought that having an experience abroad was would mean like a big leap in not only my career but also in at a personal level. So after a couple of years of being working in, especially for different governments, for the public sector, I decided to start applying for this for master program abroad. And I wanted to be the master. I wanted to be like more technical, more like into deep like education. I mean, I didn't want to go on a master's degree about like political science or public administration. I wanted something more concrete. So that's why I chose to do a master's in environmental management, even though even within the master program, I have like a lot of policy making courses that I'm taking and that I will take. But the focus is already in the environment. So it's and that's one of the things that I wanted to get from my education, from my higher education here in the US.
Well, tell us a little bit about Geo Funds. You are the director of president of Geo Funds. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, the NGO was founded by a friend that Euge, we both know. So he founded the NGO in 2014. It's a local NGO. It works in Vicente Lopez. And
that's in Buenos Aires. If you don't know where it is, it's in Buenos Aires.
It's in the suburbs of Buenos Aires. Thanks for the declaration.
No worries.
Clarification. So since we were friends, he invited me to participate from the very beginning, and I really enjoyed the experience. It was it's an NGO that works with the community. So I believe that's an important thing to work with local communities and to know exactly what they like, what they what they are claiming for. So we work closely with them, and especially with recycling. So even though the aim of the organization is to create and to build sustainable habits within the community, we were mainly focused on recycling and waste management in general. So it's not only recycling, it's also like reducing your consumption and not only the consumption, but the things that you buy, and there's a lot of unnecessary like packaging or so it's reducing, it's recycling, and also like trying to reuse some of the things that you may consume before. So we were focused on that since the very beginning. And last year, well, of course, like as many NGOs, as it happens in many NGOs, you change the board and the people that lead the NGO. And well, we had like a new we had a new board created last year, and mainly we are like more like a horizontal organization, so everyone has like equal power. We try to discuss every matter among us and try to reach trying to make a decision with consensus. And but you know, of course for legal and for representative issues, we still have you know, we assign roles in the board. So yeah,
did you were you work as a volunteer, or were you actually working full time?
No, I was a volunteer. I'm still a volunteer. It's not work related. It's not a paid position. No.
Yeah.
It's volunteering. Yeah.
So the idea
And-
is when you finish your studies, did you want to spend more time in the US, or did you want to go back and work for
Well,
the NGO?
That's a big question. That's
Yeah.
a big question. Well, because of the scholarship, I have to go back. One of the conditions of the scholarship is that they kind of train you to go back and to bring your knowledge to your home country. But you still have options to stay a little bit longer here in the US, maybe working or continuing with your studies. I know, I think I won't continue with studies. I mean, with the 2-year program, I think that's more than enough. But I may consider like working here for a while before going back. But again, I mean, it's there are a lot of opportunities that I guess that will be opened when I finish my program here. So we will see. Yeah, but my idea is to work more to continue working in policy, environmental policy. Especially I'm trying to focus more like in international environmental policy. So we'll see which are the opportunities that I will have at the end of the program.
I'm curious if you're already discussing these new laws from this government, you know, the democratic government that they passed for climate change, environmental protection. Have you started looking into that or not yet?
Not yet. Well, of course, I read about it in news and everything. And we talked a little bit in some of the classes. But we are not like, we didn't give like a serious study yet here. Not yet. There were some also, like there are a lot of lectures and activities, and again, one of some of those lectures talked a little bit about the new law, but we didn't have like a specific lecture.
Yeah, it's just one of the biggest ever in history that they're going to invest billions and billions of dollars into industries and sustainable energy and all this stuff. So it's a very exciting time for you to be in this situation.
Yeah, totally.
And now the US, where they denied, a lot of previous administration denied climate change, and now it's at the forefront of policy. And so for you to be there in such a prestigious university, I think you're right. You might have opportunities after you graduate to be involved in these new projects. And then whatever you learn, you can, I mean, ideally, Argentina needs a lot of that. They just don't have the resources. It's very, very difficult, either from the government, it's almost non-existent, and then people themselves, it's hard to get, you know, grants or funds.
Yeah, and it's not only a matter of funds sometimes, it's also a matter of culture and mindset, right? Some people don't believe there's a problem with climate change, or they see protests and they think, oh my, these people again are bothering everyone about climate change. But how do you see that, Mati?
But it's a really big issue here as well. I mean, they have in my opinion, they have like a really cultural problem regarding climate change and everything. There's still like a lot of single-use plastic. Most of the cities are not prepared for public transit. So everyone has to own a car in order to move from one place to another. So here in the US, they have a lot of problems, culturally speaking, related to the environment, as well as we have it also in Argentina. I think in some things we may be more advanced, in some things we may be a little bit behind. But but it's kind of a challenge worldwide, I think. And again, I believe that is also like a problem that should be addressed by governments, local governments, state governments, federal government, and also, of course, at an international level. So we try to work with people trying to change the mindset. That's why I think that working with local communities is really important, because all the work that we did with Geo Funds, I think we were successful because we were dealing directly with the people and trying to understand how the situation is in order to try to change that mindset. Okay, so what are the barriers for you to recycle, for instance? Like why are you having trouble to I don't know, to deal with your waste and, you know, to wash the things and separate them in a different, like this is like an example, right? So which are the barriers that as a culture, as a society we are facing, and that makes difficult to change? And here people are really, I mean, here everything is comfortable. I mean, so it's you can go buy a coffee, you will have your cup, and then you will have you know, a cardboard plate for your food and a plastic fork, and it's easy because you go, you eat, and you throw it away. You don't have to wash it. You don't have to store it. It's like everything is made in a way that is convenient, and it's really difficult to change. Okay, now you have to wash your cup, your mug. People don't want to do that. I mean, everything is like minimizing the time that you spend in doing things as much as possible. So it's not only the consumer who has to, you know, who has to be more responsible when they're buying, like to try to take it takes time as well. I mean, it's not something that you will change overnight. I mean, you have to get used to carry your bag with you every time you go shopping. Or for instance, here, I mean, there are a lot of events that provides you with food, because maybe there are lectures that are during lunch, so they give you some food so you can eat while you have the lecture or whatever, or meetings that you will have. So sometimes, I mean, you have to get used to carry your own Tupperware in your backpack, and you know, it takes time because it's like, oh, I have to carry more weight. I have to, you know, I have the laptop, I have the notebook, I have the, but I mean, it's
I think that's definitely helps. While really it's the companies that are investing, it's where they invest the money. If they invest the money in what makes the profit, if they just care about profit, they don't care about the environment, then it's the value system where they put more value in the profit, instead of saying, well, why don't we hire engineers or scientists to design a package that will actually help, you know, the soil, and instead of killing fish and polluting our rivers and lakes, we find a way to create something that's convenient for the consumer, but that it's in harmony with the environment. And as humans, we're the smartest species in the world, and maybe as far as we know in the universe. So we just need to change that value system to say, this company is going to produce this product because that's what consumers want. They want a product that will so I don't know if that's also, if they're talking about that in the universities, because the universities need to create those engineers and scientists to be able to come up with those type of products.
There are two things there as well. I mean, companies should be more concerned about these kind of issues, and they should hire and have within their staff people prepare in order to improve the production and the industrial system, because it's even like more efficient for them. Because sometimes, I mean, you think that in the short term you will get more benefits in comparison to the damage of the pollution or the contamination that you're producing, but in the long term you will be getting less benefits because of all the pollution that you caused before. So it's in their own benefit for companies to have like people prepare and who know how to manage sustainably the resources that the company deal with. And on the other hand, it's also like the governments should design policies that will encourage companies to do research, to do improvements, because sometimes there are some companies. I came from a lecture about like aviation fuel, and sometimes it's like really expensive for companies to do research and to improve and to develop new technologies in order to have, for instance, in this case, like a more sustainable fuel, or to go to more like electric sources, or whatever the solution it is. Sometimes it's really expensive. So maybe the governments should create incentives for them to do the research, because I mean, I think that both players alone is really difficult for them to be successful. I think that the government cannot work alone in this kind of things, because you need a lot of money, you need a lot of resources in terms of professional skills, and companies, they want to do money, and it's like, I mean, they want to generate benefits, so they won't care to do research for something that you don't know they will create a benefit for the company. So I think that if you complement both sectors, you will have like you will have some good solutions for especially for the industrial ecology. I think the good thing is that humankind has proved to be resilient to many changes throughout history. So I think that we will find a way to adapt to these new situations, because we are already working on that. There's a lot of adaptation going on. And I believe that we will react on time in order to start changing the structural problems that we are having, and that they are the cause of all these environmental problems. So I think we have to do both things at the same time. Actually, typically climate change science is divided between mitigation and adaptation. So it's kind of addressing both problems at the same time, like the cause, like trying to mitigate the causes of this problem, but at the same time to adapt. Because also, like, depending on where do you live, your focus will be on one of those. For instance, if you take Buenos Aires, the emissions of climate change gases is really, really low, because you don't have industries, or, I mean, if you compare like to big cities in the world, it's really low, but you will have like more problems, because cities will have will face a lot of problems regarding climate change. The level of the sea rising, heat waves. So maybe your focus as a city, you have to prepare more for adaptation, to adapt yourself. And of course, I don't know, small islands in the Caribbean or will have that problem. But for instance, I don't know, the US have to deal more with mitigation, because they are one of the first, one of the most contaminant countries in the world. So, you know, it's all a balance. I think there is hope.
So now, Mati, we want to see Yale. Some of us will probably never be there. So you're gonna show us a little bit around campus. This is so exciting. This is our first mobile.
And this is, well, two things to mention. I mean, this is, the good thing is we are in the best part of the year, according to the people who live and study here, because fall is like the most beautiful thing. We have everything like full of leaves. All the trees are red, yellow, green, so it's really beautiful. And also I want to tell you that this is not the main campus. As many bigger universities, they have like a main campus in downtown or close to downtown, and then they have like different like small buildings or campuses in the city. So this is well, I'm gonna show you. This is like the School of Environment. Okay, I'm gonna show you. This is
and the building is, how old is that building or that campus?
Well, you have there in our school we have 3 buildings. 2 of them are the original one. They are all like maybe more than 100 years old. And then there is a new one, which is now the main building, which is like, I don't know, 50. I'm not sure about that, but I think it's 50 years old, more or less.
Okay.
It's pretty new, it's pretty fancy, so it's really nice. Now I'm in one of the old buildings. So this was my view while we were having the interview.
Let us see. Oh, so nice.
You see all the falls,
right, autumn.
all the leaves in.
Yeah. Did you celebrate Halloween with your groups?
Yeah, that's why I'm shaved. I usually wear a
What did you get? What was your costume?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
Hello.
Now I can see a hallway with beautiful doors, and I saw 2 classes.
This is
oh my.
the old building. It's kind of old, but it's a nice one. I like it. Some people don't like it at all. Okay, I'm going now. Sorry for the. Okay, this is our mascot.
Oh my! You have a school mascot. Hi, what's his name?
Yeah, his name is Mariano. Go with your mother. No, I mean he's not our official mascot, but he's from one of the girls from first year. So this is the main building.
Okay, nice.
Which is really beautiful. And I'm going. So this is the garden we were looking at from the inside. Many people come here with riding the bike because the city is like, it's pretty small, so it's kind of bikeable, easy to bike. And we can go, we can go this way.
Okay, this is so much fun. It's like being there with you. I love it.
Sorry. This is, so you see this fall is beautiful. So this is as I said before, this is the main building now. This there is the old one. I'm going to the back part of it, which is kind of the campus. We share it with other schools.
Which other schools?
I think it's the biology school and I cannot remember well, but actually this part of the campus is called Science Hill because it's we have all the schools related more to like physical science, biological science, environmental studies.
Nice.
The back door of the building.
That's great. I imagine they have a big theater hall. Is that right?
Yeah, well, that's in downtown. It's really beautiful. The theater is really beautiful. So this is like kind of, this is what is called the Science Guild. So there's a cafe over there. That I think is the biological school. That one, I don't know. It's also like some
some like scientific study school or something like that. So this is kind of this part is really beautiful. Now the super warm, so you can even sit here and study, or you have a squirrel over there. But in summer you will have it like full of students enjoying the warmth of the day. And the other old building that I mentioned, is up the road, so it's not close to this one. And
that building next to it, it's old, right?
That one is old, but yeah, but that's not part of our school.
Oh.
But the courtyard, yeah, we use this courtyard for a lot of events, gatherings. It's really beautiful. I'm going this way to the front so we can finish the tour in the front of the building.
The dorms are in this area, or are they somewhere else?
Well, you have dorms for graduate students. That is, they are close by, but then most of the people live in like regular apartments in a neighborhood like pretty close by. I'm living in that neighborhood, which is like 5 minutes away from with a bike.
Nice.
So it's like pretty close by. But then you have a lot of some dorms around. So I'm going right now to the back to the front of the buildings, and we can finish the tour there. Yeah. I can show you as well the ice rink, which is in front of our school.
Oh, what do they do there in the ice
hockey
rink? Oh, have you been to a match?
Not yet. The season started like a couple of weeks ago. So that there is the ice rink.
Nice.
It's called the whale because of the shape of the building.
I like it.
You can see the whale.
Yes, we can see it.
That there, that building over there. Wait, because I have the computer and I cannot. That building over there, it's a college. So it's for undergraduate studies. So this is the front of the building. You can read there, School of Environment. So this is like the new building, which is now the main building. And over there, and this one is one of the old buildings.
Thank you for this tour. It was amazing to see Yale a little bit from the inside. And we're so proud of you. Congratulations on this scholarship. I hope you enjoy it, the whole process, and that you really feel satisfied with this experience. You deserve it, and thank you for joining. And it's great to talk with someone that is so worried about our future, because this impacts everyone. So thank you. We need people like you, and keep up the good work. We are going to be rooting for you here.
Well, thank you again for inviting me and for helping me spreading the word.
Thanks for watching. Thank you, Mati, for joining. Is there anything you would like to say before we go?
Well, first of all, I want to thank you for this opportunity, for giving me the opportunity to talk about my experience. I hope that it's encouraging for other people that are willing to do something similar to what I'm doing, to study abroad. I mean, it's a lot of work, but it is possible. So go with it. And well, I hope, and thank you also like for showing your interest about these kind of topics, which I believe they are really important and interesting for our society nowadays. So thank you again, and well, whenever you want, we can continue our talks.
Yes, so Matias, thank you so much. For me, it's very encouraging, especially I mentioned my son, my daughter. I see this generation that has a lot of anxiety. I did not even know about the word anxiety before. And almost all their friends have a lot of anxieties, depression, things like that. Or social media sometimes shows all that's going on around the world with people in floods and people dying. And again, we had huge fires here in Colorado. 1,000 homes were destroyed in just a few hours because of these droughts. And so it's very present, but the fact that people like you've shown that you can have huge challenges to be involved in this type of scholarships and programs, but you kept going. You kept going. You don't give up. You fight for what your beliefs and your value system, and you're part of the solution. So thank you so much for that, and congratulations for everything you've achieved. I appreciate that, and I hope more people, that it's a contagious thing. Instead of talking down and fighting and all this political differences, that we get together and look for solutions. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thanks again. Thank you, Mati. Congratulations on your work. These are very important topics, and we as a community are very interested in letting people know that you can study climate change, you can work around it, you can go to Yale. So this is our mission. So thank you for joining. If you would like to reach Mati, where shall people reach you if they're interested in getting in contact with you?
Well, they can look for me in LinkedIn if they want to, or if you want to write an email like old-fashioned way. My email is my name, Matias.montaldobarral, which are my both last name, at Yale.edu.
Thanks for watching, and if you'd like this video and if you would like to watch more videos, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time. Thank you.
Bye.
This is the end of our episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.